My wife left me for her soulmate and now wants half of everything, including the house she secretly kept her name off of. So I'm 35, male, and until a week ago I thought I had a pretty normal life. Married, nice house, decent job. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm living in a nightmare. My parents always put appearances first, and my marriage to Serafina was the crown jewel. Turns out, it was all a lie, she was just using me. Serafina always made more money and subtly held that over me. I'm a museum curator, not exactly rolling in dough. She always controlled the finances, or so I thought. Now I'm discovering just how deep her deceit goes. Reddit, I don't even know where to start. What happens when your perfect life implodes? I came home early from a conference in Chicago, jet-lagged, excited to surprise Serafina. The house was empty, like really empty. No suitcase in the hallway, no shoes by the door. Just nothing. My stomach dropped. I called her cell straight to voicemail. Then I saw it. A folded piece of paper on the otherwise bare kitchen counter. My name scrawled on the front in her perfect cursive. I unfolded it, my hands shaking. Elias, it read. I've found my soulmate. I'm gone. My lawyer will contact you about the divorce. That was it. No explanation, no apology, no goodbye, just gone. I think I stood there for an hour just staring at that goddamn note. It felt surreal, like I was watching a bad movie. Then the nausea hit. I barely made it to the bathroom before I was emptying the contents of my stomach. My head was spinning. This wasn't happening. It couldn't be happening. Serafina leaving me for her soulmate. It felt like a punch to the gut, a cold, calculated betrayal. I called my mother, my voice trembling. She barely reacted. Oh, Elias, she sighed like I'd called to complain about a traffic jam. Serafina told us this was coming. She said you weren't supportive of her career. Supportive? I worked my ass off so she could pursue her ambitions. My father chimed in, his voice laced with impatience. Just sign the papers and move on, son. It's not worth the drama. Not worth the drama. And my wife left me for another man and took everything, and they're worried about drama. I hung up, the phone slipping from my numb fingers. I was alone. Completely and utterly alone. So after my parents' stellar display of empathy, I did the only thing I could think of. I called my lawyer. He was calm, practical, all business. A welcome contrast to the emotional hurricane raging inside me. He told me to gather all our financial records, which is when the real nightmare began. Serafina handled everything, always saying she was better with numbers. Turns out, better with numbers translated to systematically hiding assets and screwing me over. I started digging through our files, and that's when I found it, the deed to our Victorian. Only my name was on it. We bought it together, damn it. We both contributed to the down payment, the mortgage, but her name, nowhere to be found. I felt sick again. This couldn't be real. I called my in-laws, thinking maybe, just maybe, they'd see reason. They'd understand how twisted this was. Oh, how naive I was. Mr. and Mrs. Albright, I said, my voice shaking. I need to talk to you about Serafina. Oh, Elias, her mother cooed, in that condescending tone she always used with me. Serafina told us you were being difficult about the divorce. You need to let her go, dear. She's found happiness. Happiness? At my expense. Difficult? I sputtered. She emptied our house, she left, and her name isn't even on the deed. We both paid for this house. Her father scoffed. Don't be absurd, Elias. Serafina would never do something like that. My blood ran cold. But the deed, it's right here, I stammered, feeling like I was losing my mind. Oh, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation, Mrs. Albright said dismissively. Serafina is a successful businesswoman. She knows what she's doing. You probably just misunderstood something. Misunderstood? Misunderstood. They were actively gaslighting me. Defending their precious daughter, even though she was clearly in the wrong. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the phone. I don't understand, I whispered, feeling utterly defeated. Just sign the papers, Elias, Mr. Albright barked. And stop bothering us with this nonsense. Click, they hung up. They actually hung up on me. That's when it hit me. This wasn't normal. This wasn't just a messy divorce. This was a betrayal. By Serafina, yes, but also by her parents. By my own parents. They were all complicit. They all saw me as what upon an obstacle to Serafina's happiness. I sank to the floor, the deed clutched in my hand, a single tear rolling down my cheek. I felt like I was drowning. And no one, absolutely no one, was throwing me a lifeline. Update, things have gone from bad to worse. I'm starting to think I'm in a twisted reality TV show. This morning, I woke up to a barrage of texts from everyone. Aunts, uncles, cousins I haven't spoken to in years. All singing the same damn song. Serafina deserves better. You were holding her back. just let her go and move on. Where the hell are they getting this? It's like Serafina's launched a full-scale PR campaign to paint me as the villain. I'm starting to question my own sanity. Am I the bad guy here? Did I somehow miss all the signs that I was a terrible husband? It's insidious, this slow drip of poison, eroding my confidence, making me doubt everything. Then the real kicker. My Aunt Carol, bless her heart or not, decided to tag me in a Facebook post, a public Facebook post, with a picture of Serafina and some guy looking all lovey-dovey. The caption: "So happy for my beautiful niece, finally free to live her best life. Soulmates, true love, second chances." Second chances? From what? My apparently soul-crushing existence. I'm not even exaggerating when I say I wanted to crawl into a hole and die. The humiliation. I deactivated my Facebook immediately. But the damage was done. My phone was blowing up with notifications. People I barely knew commenting, offering their support to Serafina. It felt like a public flogging. My work is suffering, I can't focus, I keep making mistakes. My boss called me in for a chat today. He said he's concerned about my performance. Concerned? My life is falling apart and he's concerned about a misplaced artifact. I almost laughed in his face. Almost. I managed a week. I'm going through a difficult time. And he just patted my shoulder and said, "We all go through tough times, Elias, just try to keep it together at work." Easy for him to say. I haven't slept in days. I'm living on coffee and anxiety. I feel like I'm losing my grip. This can't continue. I need to do something. I need to fight back. But how? I'm starting to feel like David going up against Goliath. Except Goliath has a PR team and my family as her cheering section. This isn't just about the house anymore. It's about my reputation, my sanity, my future. I'm not going down without a fight. I'm not letting them win. I don't know where to start. Reddit, I need help. What do I do? So I finally broke down and talked to Chloe. Chloe's my oldest friend, known her since kindergarten. She's a therapist, which, let's be honest, I probably should have done weeks ago. But I was so ashamed, so embarrassed by the whole thing. I felt like a failure. It was hard, even talking to her. I kept stumbling over my words, downplaying things. Like, Serafina left, and well, there's some complications with the house, that kind of thing. I was trying to make it sound less pathetic than it was. Chloe just listened patiently, while I stammered through my carefully crafted, watered-down version of events. Then, after I finally finished my rambling, she looked at me, dead serious, and said, "Elias, what really happened?" That's when the dam broke. I told her everything. The note, the empty house, the deed, my parents' dismissal, my in-laws' gaslighting, the Facebook flogging, the whole 9 yards. I even showed her the texts and the damn Facebook post. By the time I finished, I was a mess. Sobbing, shaking, the whole deal. Chloe just sat there, absorbing it all. Then she said something that completely shifted my perspective. "Elias," she said, her voice gentle but firm, "this isn't about you. This is about Serafina. This is about her insecurities, her inability to communicate, her fear of vulnerability." I looked at her, confused. "But the house, the money, the lies. All distractions," she said. "Smoke and mirrors. She's created this narrative to justify her actions, to avoid taking responsibility for the pain she's caused. She's making you the scapegoat." Scapegoat. The word hung in the air. It resonated. Suddenly, things started to click into place. Serafina's constant need for validation, her obsession with appearances, her subtle digs about my career. It wasn't about me not being enough. It was about her own deep-seated insecurities. "She's terrified of being seen as anything less than perfect," Chloe continued. "So, she's rewritten the story, casting herself as the victim and you as the villain. It's a classic narcissistic defense mechanism." Narcissistic. Another word that hit me like a ton of bricks. I'd never thought of Serafina that way, but it fit. It explained us so much. Then Chloe said the most important thing. "Elias, you deserve to be heard, you deserve to be respected, you deserve the truth." And in that moment, something inside me shifted. The shame started to recede, replaced by a flicker of anger. Righteous anger. "I'm not the bad guy here," I whispered, the words catching in my throat. "No," Chloe said, squeezing my hand, "you're not." And for the first time since this whole nightmare began, I actually believed it. So Chloe, bless her soul, gave me the push I needed. She told me I had to confront Serafina, to stand up for myself. Easier said than done, right? I was terrified. But Chloe helped me prepare. We went over all the financial documents, the legal stuff. We even rehearsed what I was going to say. She told me to focus on facts, not emotions, to be clear, concise, and firm. I was a nervous wreck, pacing the empty house like a caged animal, waiting for Serafina to arrive. And then there she was. Just waltzed in like she owned the place. Like nothing had happened. The audacity. Elias, she said, her voice dripping with fake concern. We need to talk about the house. Talk. She waltzes in after abandoning me, after slandering me to everyone we know and wants to talk. My blood started to boil. I think you need to explain a few things, Serafina, I said, my voice shaking but surprisingly steady. Look, she sighed, rolling her eyes like I was the unreasonable one. This is just complicating things. Let's just sell the house, split the profits, and move on. Split the profits? After she secretly kept her name off the deed. After she emptied the house and left me with nothing but a goddamn note. Move on, I repeated, my voice rising. You think I can just move on after you systematically dismantled my life? Don't be dramatic, Elias, she snapped. I'm being more than fair, you're getting half. Half of something I paid for. Something she tricked me into thinking we owned together. That was it, the final straw. The carefully constructed wall of composure Chloe had helped me build crumbled. Fair, I roared. You think this is fair? You lied, Serafina. You lied to me, you lied to my family, you lied to everyone. She flinched. Good. I didn't lie, she muttered, avoiding my gaze. The deed, Serafina, I said, my voice dangerously low. The deed. Only my name is on it. We both paid for this house. You knew that, you planned this. Her face paled. She opened her mouth to speak, but I cut her off. You're a liar and a manipulator, I said, the words pouring out of me like venom. You used me. You took everything you could and then you discarded me like I was nothing. Something shifted inside me then. A wave of cold, hard clarity washed over me. The hurt, the confusion, the self-doubt, it all vanished. Replaced by a burning rage, a fierce determination. I was done being the victim. I was done being silenced. I grabbed the folder Chloe had helped me prepare, filled with all the financial records, the legal documents, the proof of her deceit. I slammed it down on the table in front of her. I know about the condo, Serafina, I said, my voice ice cold. The one you conveniently forgot to mention, the one you bought with our money. She stared at the folder, her eyes wide with panic. The mask of composure she'd worn so carefully finally cracked. I'm not giving you a cent, Serafina, I said, my voice ringing with newfound authority. This house is mine, and you can walk right back out that door and never come back. And in that moment, I knew I had won. Not just the battle for the house, but the battle for myself. I had finally found my voice, and it was loud. All right, Reddit, buckle up, because this is where the real fun begins. After Chloe, my therapist friend and low-key savior, helped me see through Serafina's manipulative BS, I knew I couldn't just roll over and play dead. This wasn't just about the house anymore, it was about my self-respect. It was about taking back control. So, how did I prepare for the confrontation of the century? Let me break it down for you. Evidence gathering, extreme edition. Chloe and I went full on Sherlock Holmes on this. We pulled every financial document we could find. Bank statements, mortgage records, tax returns, everything. Remember that condo Serafina forgot to mention? Yeah, I found the paperwork for that little gem too. And the cherry on top. A spreadsheet Chloe helped me create, meticulously documenting every single contribution I made to the house. DOWN payment, mortgage payments, renovations, it was all there. PRINTED, dated and highlighted. Boom. Strategic thinking, war room mode. Chloe and I mapped out every possible scenario. We anticipated Serafina's tactics, guilt trips, gaslighting, crocodile tears, the whole shebang. We rehearsed my responses, focusing on facts, not emotions. Chloe drilled it into me. Stay calm, Elias, stay focused, don't let her derail you. It was like prepping for a legal battle, which, let's be honest, it kind of was. We even discussed potential legal ramifications. I wasn't going in blind, I was going in armed. Support system, MY ride or die. Chloe was my rock through all of this. She listened, she advised, she validated my feelings. Having someone in my corner who believed me, who saw through Serafina's lies, was everything. It gave me the strength to keep going when I wanted to give up. Shout out to Chloe, you're a real one. Mental and emotional prep from zero to hero. Honestly, this was the hardest part. I was a wreck. Anxious, terrified, doubting myself. Chloe helped me reframe my thinking. She reminded me that I was the wronged party, that I deserved justice. She helped me tap into my anger, to channel it into a force for good, or at least a force for getting my damn house back. I started visualizing the confrontation, picturing myself standing up to Serafina, speaking my truth, refusing to be silenced. It was like a Rocky-style training montage, but instead of punching meat, I was practicing saying, "This house is mine, Serafina." It was surprisingly empowering. So yeah, that was my game plan. I was ready. I was prepared. I was determined to fight for what was rightfully mine. Bring on the confrontation. I was ready to burn it, DOWN. The Victorian felt colder than usual, the ornate furniture draped in dust sheets like ghosts of a happier past. Serafina stood in the center of the living room, radiating an air of entitled impatience. I sat opposite her, the folder Chloe had helped me prepare placed squarely between us. It felt heavy, not just with paper, but with the weight of unspoken truths. Elias, Serafina began, her voice dripping with that fake sweetness that used to make my stomach churn, I really don't understand why you're being so difficult. Difficult, I echoed, my voice steady, surprisingly devoid of the tremor that had plagued me for weeks. You abandoned our home, Serafina. You left me with nothing but a two-sentence goodbye. And now you waltz back in here demanding half of my house. Our house, she corrected, her eyes flashing. We bought it together. Did we? I countered, sliding the folder towards her. Take a look at the deed, Serafina. Whose name do you see? Her perfectly manicured hand reached out, snatching the document. Her face paled as she scanned the page. Only my name, no trace of hers. The carefully crafted mask of indifference began to crack. There must be some mistake, she stammered, her voice losing its usual confidence. No mistake, Serafina, I said, my voice hardening. You knew exactly what you were doing. You kept your name off the deed. You planned this. I didn't, she began, but I cut her off. You lied, Serafina, I stated, the words hanging heavy in the air. You lied to me. You lied to our families. You lied to everyone. I opened the folder, revealing the meticulously organized documents within. I know about the condo, Serafina, the one you bought with our money, the one you conveniently forgot to mention. Her eyes darted around the room, searching for an escape. The confident, self-assured woman I thought I knew was gone, replaced by someone smaller, more vulnerable. The power dynamic had shifted. I could feel it. I'm not giving you a cent, Serafina, I said, my voice ringing with finality. This house is mine, and you can walk right back out that door and never come back. Her eyes widened, a flicker of panic igniting in their depths. You can't do this, she whispered, her voice barely audible. I already have, I replied, meeting her gaze without flinching. It's over, Serafina. She stood there for a moment, stunned into silence. Then, without another word, she turned and walked out, her shoulders slumped in defeat. The click of the front door latch echoed through the empty house, a sound that marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. I sat there for a long time, the silence broken only by my own ragged breathing. It was over. I had won. And for the first time in weeks, I felt a flicker of something I hadn't felt in a long time, hope. I did it, REDDIT. I actually freaking did it. Time to rebuild, time to reclaim my life, and time to finally repaint this damn Victorian. Anyone have recommendations for a good shade of fuck you green? It's been a few months since the dust settled, Reddit, and I wanted to give you an update. After Serafina stormed out, I felt this weird mix of relief and exhaustion. Like I'd run a marathon and won, but also got hit by a truck. I sat in the silent Victorian, surrounded by dust sheets and just breathed. It was mine. I had defended it. I had defended myself. The initial fallout was messy. Serafina tried a few more legal maneuvers, but my lawyer shut her down pretty quickly. Turns out, having all the documentation and a rock-solid case really helps. The divorce was finalized a few weeks later. I kept the house, she got her precious condo, and a hefty legal bill, I'm guessing. There was some back and forth about other assets, but nothing major. I wasn't interested in dragging things out. I just wanted it over. Some family members still give me the side eye. They bought into Serafina's narrative hook, line, and sinker. My parents, well, let's just say they're still more concerned with appearances than reality. But honestly, I don't care. I've realized that their opinions don't define me. Chloe has been amazing throughout, a true friend. She helped me see that the people who matter, the ones who truly care, stood by me, and that's enough. The house is slowly coming back to life. I ripped down the dust sheets, repainted, went with a deep teal, not quite fuck you green, but close, and started filling it with things I love. It's becoming my sanctuary, a symbol of my newfound independence. Work is better, I'm still healing, but I can focus again. My boss actually apologized for his earlier insensitivity. Small victories. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, though. There are still moments of sadness, of doubt. Sometimes the silence of the house is deafening. I miss the idea of what I thought I had, even though I now know it was an illusion. but I'm learning to be okay with being alone. I'm learning to love myself, to value my own company. I've realized that I am enough. And that Reddit is a huge win. This whole experience has been a brutal lesson in self-worth, in the importance of boundaries, and in the deceptive nature of perfect appearances. I've learned to trust my gut, to speak my truth, and to never, ever let anyone dim my shine. It's been a long, painful journey, but I'm finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So, Reddit, what about you? Anyone else out there survive a soulmate betrayal? How did you cope? What did you learn? I'd love to hear your stories.